This is Sidechatz. Today's podcast is going to be about friendship dynamics, especially now that we are post-grad, life is ever-changing. First question, what are the challenges of maintaining friendships when life gets busy, and how can people navigate them?
It's a difficult balance to find, really. There are times when my friends really just don't see, just because school, work, everything's just been back to back to back.
As you get older, your priorities change a little bit and your friendships aren't super high up there. It's something that we've kept in the back of our mind. Scheduling time ahead is really what has made this friendship strong. May reaches out to us like once a week to ask us about when we're free, and then we'll schedule something to film or to hang out.
With our group, it's a bit different. We're often in the same organization because we do squash. But with friends from college, from high school, there's been like months where we go no talking. If you guys had a strong connection with some friends, if you just hit them up, ask, oh, do you want to like grab lunch? It'll still be like, oh, time.
Do you think people should be scared of the idea that there's going to be that separation?
It's definitely challenging. It depends on which friendships you have, because some people view gaps as like, we're just not that close anymore. Some people view quality time as an indicator of a good friendship, but other people don't. Yeah, it just depends on the friend, and you just gotta communicate to make that clear.
I don't think you should be scared. It's just a natural part of life. People naturally tend to prioritize other things. They start families, job, all these other things that take precedent. As long as you guys hold on to that bond that you guys once had, I don't think that friendship is gonna go away.
In some cases it could. Everyone's grown up and values change, or how they see things or communicate change also. And I think it's fine when you're at a different chapter in your life. Sometimes you guys just won't have that same dynamic just because there's just different situations in your life at the moment.
I think it's funny because May's always been like that though. Our senior year, May's like, I'm never gonna see any of y'all ever. But she was like, but it's okay, because it's like a natural part of this. From that perspective, like, yeah, that friendship might not still be there, but the next time you see them, hopefully it's not a negative thing.
Some people are meant to be in your life for just a short period of time, and that's also okay. What I was referring to is that if you want to continue being friends with somebody and the only thing that has changed is just distance or timing, then re-exploring something that once was, as long as the bond is still there and you guys both want it, I don't think the friendship's going anywhere. Speaking of leaving people behind, what are the signs that a friendship has run its course, and how can we just gracefully let go of the friendship?
So I'll call you my friend, we're like close. If anything ever happened, we'll be like, alright, it's life, move on.
You've never had a friend cause
Ghost
you?
you, or like...
No. Why would I be friends with somebody that I would think that would have cost me? You know?
But that's when you have to let them go if they changed as a person.
I would just stop talking. It was never that serious.
I hope you understand, Pablo runs on two wavelengths. Either you're with him or you're not.
So you've never had a friend change up?
Not that I can remember, and if they have,
he wouldn't know.
Whatever.
I'm trying to think about if I've had friends fall out. I don't really hold any of my friends to any sort of expectation. Like, I'm gonna rock with you as long as you're not doing me dirty. As soon as I feel like I was done in a way that I wouldn't do to you, then I'm probably just not gonna talk to you. If I do feel that way and then we talk about it, it's no big deal. It's like having a regular relationship with a loved one. There's a lot of grace. Like, there's a lot of room for you to like tell me what went wrong, and then things will be peachy again. But if it continues happening in a sense, then, you know, I might just hang out with you a little less, just give you less access to my time. After that, I don't really care what you do. How y'all feel?
How do I know if a friendship has run its course? I have very good intuition. I usually can sense the energy, but at the same time, I forgive a lot. That sometimes makes it worse. Sometimes it should have already been ended. If I sense some negative energy towards me, I usually try to communicate it, bring it up, because I don't want to keep being friends with someone that seems to be not being a good friend. When it's run its course, I don't hold a grudge. I just keep it cordial, but I won't talk to you like that again.
That was a very good answer. I feel like I'm a lot like that. When friends change, that's okay. People go and they branch out, they change, they meet other people. Sometimes you just don't vibe with them the same way anymore. When a friendship no longer benefits either party or it starts getting disrespectful, then I just keep the time that we've had in my heart. It's time to let it go. It's sad, but yeah. I mean, what else are we doing here? We're just stuck.
Fair.
Branching out from what you said, and it is sad. It's hard to end that when there's just so many memories you guys have had. But when it gets to that point where you just don't feel peaceful when you're around them anymore, that's when you can tell. Like, when I'm around them, I don't feel at ease. That's when you can tell like it's run its course.
I agree. I think with my best friend, there was a time period for like a solid 8 months, we just did not talk to each other. It wasn't serious beef, but like we grew in a distant situation. Like, it just wasn't working out. But then after that time where it was was like, okay, let me do my own thing and situate myself. When we hung out again, everything was back to normal. It's weird what time can do for those situations as well, though. Do you think in like your relationships, sorry, not relationships, in your friendships, do you think you're the person that overextends, like gives a lot of yourself, the person who matches their energy, or you're there as often as you can? What do you feel like is your dynamic with your friends?
It depends on the person, but like with people who I used to be friends with, I do tend to overextend. Sometimes try to save the friendship. I only realize it at a random moment, and that's when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just take a step back.
Even in a situation of making plans, do you feel like you put in more of that energy?
Definitely more in groups and with friendships. I don't have a problem reaching out. I know some people, they're not the type to reach out, oh, let's hang out. But I'm the type too, so I guess.
And we appreciate them.
No cap. Because I 100%, because I'm definitely either match, or sometimes if I'm busy a little bit less. I'm very much a match person. With what Pablo said, if something happens and it just kind of makes the relationship a little off, I'm just matching what the other person is doing.
I think you
like,
said that, boss.
I said that? Oh,
I think
shoot.
you said that.
My bad. To quote myself.
He doesn't hang out with friends.
I do.
Okay, but who initiates?
Both.
You match.
Yeah.
You don't match with us though.
I see you every week. What are you talking about?
We gotta force you to come.
Y'all are
know.
work friends.
Do you guys remember that one day where he asked us if we wanted to hang out and we're like, whoa.
Yo, like, yo, who's this? Beverly, how you feel?
I feel like I'm a matcher or an overextender, but not an overextender in the
Mayway?
I will plan something once in a blue moon, but a lot of the time May plans the stuff, or like she'll reach out to hang out, so I just go along with it and I'll help. Since we're all growing up, what strategies can people use to make new friends later in life, especially after major transitions?
Hobby.
Really invest yourself in what you're doing. If you really like your job, let's say you're in grad school, if you are doing hobbies and you really like your hobbies, focus on those with as much passion as you can, because then you'll find somebody or find people that are similarly as passionate, making for easy conversation. You don't have to force anything.
What if you have no hobbies?
Get a hobby.
I mean, if you go home and just chill all day and you know nobody else outside your circle, step one is go outside. Unless you want to make friends only online, but that's in and of itself a whole other issue.
If you don't have the hobby to branch out and make friends, going up to other people or hoping they come up to you and strike up a conversation, putting yourself in new situations and experiences is really how you bond.
As we're older now and we're tied to our job more, now as we're adults, it's kind of harder to make friends because you're just so busy. Making friends is just taking some more energy from you. I'm speaking in the perspective that we're just out of college, we're new to the work environment. It takes a lot of energy from you. I would say if your close friends are hanging out with a group of people and they have mutuals, don't be afraid and just go for it.
Also, you can be friends with your friends' friends.
Yes! I think my most recent friend I made was a friend of a friend.
It depends on what type of friend group they're in. I'm not gonna introduce you guys to my multi friends. I'm not bringing them on.
I don't want to meet those guys. Sometimes I'm hesitant on introducing two different friend groups, but ultimately, as of right now, that's just kind of how my life goes. Like, we'll throw parties and we'll, you know, have events where all the different friend groups come together. So at this point, they all know each other now. May, what have you been doing to make friends?
Honestly, I haven't. I'm very peaceful with my friend group right now, but I do try to make friends if the situation arises or if I'm in a new environment.
It's weird because when you have less friends and you're alone by yourself more, things like making friends gets anxiety inducing, especially when I don't know when the next time I'm gonna be hanging out with a group of people is. I'd say just relax. Try your best not to overthink it, because at the end of the day, the person that you should be most comfortable with is yourself. And then outside of that, you're trying to make friends.
And you don't need to be on a making friends frenzy as long as you have like a good group.
How do societal expectations or cultural norms influence how we maintain or let go of friendships as we age?
I want to say how like societal norms. If we chill, we cool, we get along with each other, we're friends. Very cookie cutter for me.
I feel like, especially for this question and social norms, Pablo is the perfect example. If you just talk to Pablo for a little bit, you assume that he only has like a guy friend group. Some of his two closest friends were girls this whole time. He's a well-rounded individual when it comes to the people he hangs around. So it's like, yeah, exactly, like surprisingly. So I feel like social interactions, I mean, granted, we also live in Boston, so like everything's pretty progressive. Socially, I don't think we feel the impact.
I do see online sometimes times that people have this expectation of friendships to always have to evolve who you are or be friends with people that always elevate you in life.
Yeah.
I can agree to that to some point, but I think that there's different friends and different people for different things.
And I think it's also interesting because I feel like my friends support me, but like I don't rely on them on the idea of I'm about to get this money, let's get this money. Hopefully everything's going okay with you. If it's not, reach out, but otherwise we're gonna have fun when we're hanging out together. I also feel like if you're from the same culture, naturally it's easier to become friends.
How do friendships in adulthood differ from those formed in childhood? I can speak on this a little bit. When you're in childhood, your friends are by proximity. Whoever you just end up spending the most time with, the people at your table or the people in your neighborhood, they all are the people that you tend to be really good friends with growing up. And then as you get older, they branch out, they have new friends, and people change. In adulthood is when you start to get really selective with your time. Now we don't have all the free time in the world to hang out with our friends, so we have to choose carefully who we hang out with. There's a beauty in having more selective friendships now.
When you're kids, you're not allowed to experience certain things. Granted, because you're a kid. The friends that you have when you're a kid, you just imagine a lot of stuff together. Like things are just a lot more carefree, more like whimsical because you don't really know the world versus when you're adults, you understand that things are weird. It's more real.
When you're younger, you don't really have like a true established meaning of friendship. Yeah, your friendship meaning may be a little lax, but now as we get older, we kind of know more of what we want.
But I don't think you sleep on the friendships you make when you're young though. Because the only reason why the three of us are friends to start is because we sat down in the same section in the Spanish class.
My school is different because my class was like a graduating class of 80. You either mess with the person there or you didn't. I didn't really mess with anybody there.
So would you say it's easier to make friends now that you're older?
Oh, yeah. Mostly because you're not confined to a room for 9 hours a day.
It can really be a hit or a miss. Like it's 50-50 on whether or not those childhood friendships really go. My best friend I met 4th grade. Sometimes it works out, other times you just don't talk to them again.
And I think there is a beauty in making friends while you're young. Also being able to maintain that. When you're young, you don't have too much pressure of what you need to say. Because I feel like sometimes now when you're older, some people,
They have a filter.
yeah.
When you're a kid, it is easier.
I think it's the opposite. Kids are mean as hell.
Kids are mean. I feel like all three of us, we went to a high school that like you're being mean towards somebody or somebody's being mean towards you, but it's never in a bullying sense.
I forgot. Kids are mean. I feel like once you start growing a consciousness, once you start having a sense of empathy, which I think was when people started hitting like 7th grade, that's when kids started being a little nice to me.
Some people never really get that though.
Never really get that. Some adults don't even have that, bro.
Right.
Why do some friendships withstand the test of time while others fade away?
Friendships are a lot different than relationships. Like in relationships, some things go wrong so that now you're like, okay, this isn't gonna work out. Friendships, you have a lot of space for things to go wrong and for things to continue working out because it's not like you need to see them every day, every week.
We don't have to talk like months, years, but once we see each other, it's still like, I just saw you yesterday.
Right.
I've been seeing this talk about low commitment friendships versus high maintenance ones. People are saying that the low commitment ones last just because you guys are more dependent on each other, while the people that are high maintenance, they stick to their friends like glue and life just doesn't work like that.
It's about compatibility, but based on my personal experience, what the friendships I've had longer compared to others, for me it's about first being honest with one another, so great communication. With my close friends, we take criticism well. If we do have a small problem or something bothers us, we'll just be honest and say it and then work from there. I think we're all mature and willing to own up to our actions. That's how I'm still friends with my friends right now.
Thank you guys for tuning into our friendship podcast where we talk about friendship dynamics. Please like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. We'll see you guys in the next video.